Nompu, a lot of people have been outside the Port Elizabeth High Court since 9 o'clock this morning. I think a lot of the people thought that the court will resume at 9:30. Then we saw several delays. It was 11:30, and now we are told that court will resume at 2 o'clock. I can tell you that there are two opposing groups outside the Port Elizabeth High Court, the Jesus Dominion International Church congregants throwing their weight behind Pastor Timothy Omotoso, and then you see gender activists as well as the ANC, several other political parties and civic organizations throwing their weight behind the alleged victims of Timothy Omotoso. Throughout the morning and better of the afternoon, we've seen the two groups clashing. There is a large contingency of police outside of court making sure that no one gets harmed. They have been hurling insults at each other. I also saw a couple of bottles flying in the air, but so far it hasn't been that violent. Just hurling insults and, throwing bottles at each other. But the two groups really opposing what is happening inside the Port Elizabeth High Court. Jesus Dominion International Church coming out, standing in solidarity behind Timothy Omotoso and the co-accused Zuki Swasito and Lusando Solani. We saw that in the first statement that they put out to the public. You would know that they were very mute about the stance on the Omotoso trial, but then coming out and speaking to the media, telling them that they are going to support Timothy Omotoso, and then really calling for a fair trial and not a biased trial, and calling for Judge Mandela Makaula to really play his part. But I must also make mention of the fact that we also saw another statement by the Bar Council of South Africa, just underlining one very interesting fact, and that fact is that the defense advocate Peter Doberman is not in fact an advocate but is a lawyer. Subsequently to that information, I did speak to another attorney, Kuban Chetty, who also explained that advocate Peter Doberman had actually deregistered himself a couple of months ago, and he is now going by lawyer Peter Doberman.
Okay, we're going to leave it there. Thanks very much, Jayed-Leigh. We'll catch up with you at the top of the hour at 2 o'clock when that court case resumes.